It's time to mind your business with me, Jamillah Lodge. Tune in to find out how to mind your business with BEDC, special guest entrepreneurs, industry experts, and more. Brought to you by BEDC. Bermuda business starts here. So welcome to Mind Your Business. I am your host, Jamillah Lodge, and I'm happy to have Laura and Belle, who is a partner for TwoFourOne. We're going to be talking today a little bit about a new program or new initiative that you are launching. But before we do that, let's talk a little bit about you and what inspired you and Vicky to create TwoFourOne.
Well, first of all, thank you so much for hosting me. I'm super excited to be on this side of the microphone.
That's a different experience.
It is. As some people might know, we also host the Resilient Entrepreneurs podcast.
Okay.
So I get to talk to amazing entrepreneurs all the time.
Yay.
And
it's great, right?
Yeah, it's amazing. It's my favorite thing I get to do. So yeah, we own TwoFourOne. It's a marketing company. We've been focused a lot on training over the last 5 years. We're in business 5 years this month. Big milestone. We know that 50% of entrepreneurs don't make it to year 5.
That's very
statistically, excited to be in that top 50 and, of course, to go on.
Yeah.
But we started TwoFourOne as a totally different type of marketing company. And then COVID came and, turned everything upside down. And we thank the BEDC for changing the trajectory of our business plan. And we started with a webinar with you guys way back in March of 2020 about how to get online. There were so many small business owners that didn't have an e-commerce website, that wasn't using social media effectively, and they were struggling and freaking out, right? Of course, we all were freaking out a little bit at that time. So. But for small business owners, it was so traumatic because they went from business as usual, foot traffic in the door of their retail, or referrals coming their way if they had a service-based business, and all of a sudden they had none of that.
Right.
So they needed to get online. So we hosted a webinar, then we followed up with another one, which led to a whole series of webinars and workshops with lots of guests. We started with a lot of marketing how-to training.
Right.
And it kind of evolved to marketing mindset training, which was really interesting because the more we talked to people, it wasn't how to do things that was holding them back as much as the mindset, right? Money mindset, scarcity mindset, the imposter syndrome. All these things kept coming up the more we talked to people. And over the last 2 years, we've hosted the Resilient Entrepreneurs podcast, and we've talked to business owners from around the world, highly successful, multi-millionaire, people who've built incredible businesses. And they have some of the same exact issues.
Yeah.
They've been through them. They've struggled through imposter syndrome and mindset issues. And we're like, wow, mindset is a much bigger issue than I think most people talk about.
It's true.
So we do talk a lot about personal development and how building a business is the greatest personal development program you will ever go on. Right? I mean, you deal with a lot of entrepreneurs, right?
We do.
You have to develop yourself as a person, as a leader. You have to wear all the hats. You have to figure everything out. You have to do things like talk on podcasts that might be terrifying. You have to do a lot of things that you didn't expect to do when you first started. You thought, I'm just going to create this thing. I'm just going to have this service. I'm just going to build this business. But the mindset keeps coming back.
That's interesting. So, I think it's great that you guys were able to recognize that and then harness that and then adjust your business model to be able to support the entrepreneurs and business owners where they were. So let's talk a little bit about how you did that, how you adjusted your business model, and what did you end up doing as opposed to just doing straight up marketing and branding and that sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly. So Vicky and I both come from very different backgrounds, but both in the marketing field.
Okay.
So she comes from communication and broadcast, and I come from more the design and the brand strategy. So together, we understand marketing sort of on every level. So we knew we wanted to build a marketing company because, inherently that's what we do best.
Yeah.
And we've worked with some incredible brands, over the years, and we can see what they do at a very high level. And we wanted to bring that to smaller businesses, right? Because they need that sort of bigger overview. The strategy is often the piece that gets missed. And so we wanted to do all of that. And we do all of that. We have worked with a lot of amazing clients over the last 5 years, but we've also been building this sort of learning ourselves for what's really needed. And Vicky, over the last few years, has been studying to be a coach, and she's now a certified coach.
Congratulations, Vicky.
I know, super amazing. She lives in Brisbane, Australia.
Yes.
We started TwoFourOne together in Bermuda, and during the pandemic, she moved to be closest to her mom. And thanks to the pandemic and everybody getting on Zoom and it becoming normal.
You figured out how to do business all over the world, right?
Nothing changed. Yeah. Nothing changed other than, like, we can't meet at, like, 2 in the afternoon because she's asleep, right? Like, that's the only thing. Like, we maybe can't do middle of the day stuff. But, you know, we were able to figure it out and keep the business sort of running as normal. And because of that, that helped us, I think, get a bigger global view of what's possible. And one of the big mindset things I find with Bermudian entrepreneurs is that we're kind of stuck in this Bermuda bubble. Right.
Yes.
And it's amazing to work within this community, absolutely. But you gotta
think bigger.
Because the possibilities are huge now.
That's right.
And the opportunities are huge. And when you kind of just open your mind to what's out there, it's mind-boggling.
Yeah.
So with Vicky going towards coaching, I started leaning more onto the learning and training. So I've done some, training programs, and I've worked with a Cornell University class, which was a huge, exciting thing I did this year, along with the BTA.
Yeah.
So I've had some opportunities on that, and I've really fallen in love with education.
Okay.
Like, I'm always been big on education, and I feel like entrepreneurs, there's no entrepreneur university, right? Or there's some programs out there, but there's not a lot, and entrepreneurs generally just figure it out.
Yeah, you do. That's part of it, right? That's part of it. You're a problem solver. You figure it out,
and that's amazing, and that's an incredible skill set to have, and not everybody has that. I recognize it, but there's things that you can. Stepping stones you could reach to make it easier.
Of course.
Right? So learnings you can have. So I've been really obsessed with how do we get more education out there for entrepreneurs so that they're not out there trying to figure everything out, taking 5 years to figure something out, when you can take a course and learn it in 6 months. Right? And you guys do the same thing where you incubate and help people, understand business on a deeper level. Because, I come from a marketing background. What do I know about finance?
Yeah.
What do I know about human resources? I've had to figure these things out.
You did. Yep. As an entrepreneur, as a business owner, you have to. So let's talk a little bit about the Reset Sprint, what it is, and why should people be interested?
Sure. Oh, we're so excited to launch this. So basically what the Reset Sprint is a 6 weeks, because we're keeping it nice and condensed. If anybody sees like 3 months, 6 months, they're like, I don't have time for that.
I know.
And Christmas is coming.
Yes, exactly. That's right. That's right.
So let's do it in 6 weeks. And it's basically a coaching program that Vicky's going to run, but I'm completely supporting, and I'll be there, of course. And it's going to be to help business owners, entrepreneurs, in any stage, really, but get really focused on their goals and make the rest of this year the best of this year. Because, like I said, we're in quarter 4. You may not have hit all your targets you had planned for this year. It's easy to, create a lot of resolutions and plans and goals and targets in January, and now it's October. Have you hit them?
Right.
And a lot of people will say, maybe some, but not all. Or no, I didn't. Or what's holding me back?
Right.
Usually what's holding you back is some mindset challenge. It's just some block that's preventing you from taking that next step, to taking the action, to doing the thing you need to do that's really going to progress your business forward. And of course, anybody could do it themselves and should. But it's so much more helpful when you have a coach that guides you through, step by step, accountability. Hey, if you've got a meeting to show up to every week, and people who are going to say, hey, did you accomplish that thing you said last week you were going to accomplish? If it was me, it'd be like the day before I'd be doing it. You know? But that pressure is the thing that gets you to do it.
That's right.
So it's that accountability that makes such an impact for anybody. Anybody, I think.
And so talk a little bit about how this 6 weeks, what it's going to look like. How does the program work?
Oh, that's great. So we're starting with an application process. So we're going to keep the group small on purpose, and we're going to make sure it's a right fit for people. We don't want you signing up if it's not for you. Maybe it is the right time, maybe it's not, but we're going to give you the opportunity to really discuss that with Vicky, one-on-one, in a conversation, to see if it's the right fit for you.
Gotcha.
So yes, you're going forward. It's a right fit. There's a little application form to get you kind of thinking about what your goals, what is it that you want to accomplish, what are you going to get out of it? So you're clear on that before you even sign up.
Okay.
So then you go through that.
That's great, actually.
I think it's important.
I love that. Yeah, because sometimes you sign up for all these things, you realize I don't have the time, you're not doing it, and so you don't really get the full benefit of having been in the program. So having that kind of like assessment, let's see, it may not be right, and it's okay if it isn't.
Exactly.
But you really want people, especially since it's going to be a small group, that really are ready to take on this journey, I would think.
Exactly. And we want to make sure that we can get results for them.
Yes.
Right? I want at the end of the day them to have accomplished whatever goals they set.
Right.
You know, whether it's within that 6 weeks or maybe it's a longer goal, but you're started on it.
Yes.
Right? So it is 6 weeks. There's weekly coaching calls. That's going to be a group, so with everybody.
Right.
So that'll be to celebrate your wins, to talk about your challenges, because there's nothing like a group of like-minded people to help you break through a problem or a limited belief. Maybe they're one step ahead and they can give you that piece of advice. You know, of course, Vicky's going to lead it and help, you know, coach everybody through it. And often, and I say this, like, it doesn't matter what type of entrepreneur you are. It doesn't matter what industry you're in. You could be in health, beauty, tech. It doesn't matter. You go through the same issues.
Very true.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's why just having that group of like-minded people who are in that same space as you to talk through things, to break through things is so valuable. So each one will have a specific focus, and each one will be led, and each one will be the group. And then there's 2 one-on-ones with Vicky. Now, the importance of that is groups amazing for accountability, right? And for, you know, supporting each other. But the one-on-ones is where you get deep for your personal stuff.
Okay.
Because sometimes there's stuff you don't necessarily want to say
share
in a group,
with the group. Yep.
and you just want that one-on-one encouragement from a coach and guidance step by step to break through. Because, you know, often it's our own limiting beliefs that hold us back. Right? And it's so much of our childhood experiences, our beliefs around money, our, you know, a lot of entrepreneurs don't have any entrepreneurs in their family.
Yeah.
And their family members are like, are you crazy?
Why
what
would
do you
you
think?
do that?
And why would you do that? That's
Why
so
would
risky.
you quit your job?
Exactly. They don't get it.
Right.
And that's fine. I know they come from a place of love.
Yes.
You know, they do. They love you. They support you. They want you to be safe. They want to protect you.
That's very
It's
true.
normal. Don't expect your mom to be the biggest rah, rah, rah.
Yes.
She's probably not going to be. You may have to prove some things first.
Right.
But that's why having a group of people who are in that space is so valuable, because they get it.
I think
They're
it's true.
in the trenches too, right?
And it's funny, in having these conversations with entrepreneurs, you often hear them say that entrepreneurship is a lonely road, right?
Yes.
So it's nice that you guys have figured out a way to create a group of entrepreneurs and to support them through whatever it is that they're trying to achieve. So from your experience, what do you think some of the biggest mindset shifts you have witnessed or experienced in working with entrepreneurs and talking to entrepreneurs?
I think the biggest one is sort of the resilience, right? It's that never give up attitude. I mean, every entrepreneur I've ever spoken to, the most successful ones, if you ask them, have they ever thought about quitting? And they'll be like, definitely, all the time. Last Tuesday.
Yes.
You know, like,
Yesterday, as a matter of fact.
absolutely. So what is it that keeps you going?
Yeah.
What is that resilience piece that keeps you going? And that's why we built Resilient Entrepreneurs, because we wanted to ask successful people, what keeps you resilient?
Yeah.
What keeps you going and not quitting? And there's one story that I think about all the time, was at the very beginning of the pandemic. We had one, it was a friend and a client sort of mixed into one. And she had an online e-commerce store before anybody else did, really. And she was like, you know what? It's not working. I'm not getting any sales. I'm frustrated. I'm just going to quit. We're done with this business. You know, it's been too long of a road and it's just not being successful. I don't see the purpose of it. I'm going to shut it down. I said, well, hang on.
Yeah.
Everybody's just gone online.
Yeah.
Everybody is scrambling for an e-commerce website right now. I'm talking big retail stores.
Yeah.
We're scrambling for e-commerce sites at that time. And I'm like, you're ahead of the game. You're already built. They're building. You just need to market your business.
Right.
Just promote yourself.
Yeah.
Just get out there. Get live. Like, do a video. Like, do the things that other people don't want to do or aren't ready yet. And she took my advice. God, I love her so much. And she's so successful today. Her business boomed. Her website took off. Now she's got a retail location. And
that's awesome.
It's going incredible. And she's hiring staff. So she's supporting the economy and herself, her kids, her family. And it's like a complete 360 from where she was.
And that's amazing, because that just speaks to having the conversation with someone and rethinking. Like, she was like, well, this is not working. I'm not doing it. But just having that conversation and being able to recognize the opportunity, or you expressing to her what the opportunity was, even when she couldn't see it. So with regard to the reset sprint, is that what you're hoping to achieve with regard to these group sessions and one-on-ones for other entrepreneurs, maybe in other industries?
Yeah, I mean, it could be any industry for sure. It doesn't matter the industry that you're in. It's for people who are stuck in some way, right? And we're often find ourselves stuck, or we're procrastinating. We don't really know why, or there's just this goal that feels so big and unattainable, which I think we all should always have big unattainable goals. Like, our mission should be so big and ridiculous that it doesn't even seem possible.
Right.
Like, I want to reach 1 million entrepreneurs.
Yes.
That seems insane. Okay, but if we back that up a second, well, how is that possible? One-on-one, I can't reach 1 million entrepreneurs. My podcast might.
Right.
I could write a book that might.
Right.
You know, I could speak at a keynote and maybe reach with my message, right? So it's just about, like, how do we reframe things? How do we sort of get out of our own way? Because we often get in our own way.
Yeah, we do.
And a big thing, and most entrepreneurs know this, you get stuck in the business, working the business, you know, doing the finances, doing the PR,
it's
doing
like on
the
a
thing.
hamster wheel,
you're,
right?
You're the HR person, you're the janitor half the time, you know, and you're just doing the work, but the business is kind of stagnating. I mean, maybe you're okay, maybe that's fine. And if you're fine and you're happy and your business is rocking along and that's what you're happy with, this isn't for you.
Right.
But if you're like someone who's ambitious and you know where you can get to, but you're still stuck in this every day, if you could just set aside like an hour a week to come talk to some people and have a coach guide you through like breaking through those things and action plans of what you're going to do and making a plan, setting those goals, that type of intensity, I think, is what breaks through. Because you almost don't have time to get in your own way. Like, you just got to get stuff done. And you've got accountability partners that are going to say, hey, you said you were going to make 10 sales calls last week, did you?
Right. Talking about accountability, how important is that to this whole process?
Oh, I think accountability is the key for so many people because it's so easy to set goals. It's so easy to say, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do. You know what you need to do most of the time? But if no one is saying to you, did you do that thing?
Right.
It's really
easy to be like,
I can put that off to
nobody
next
even
week.
knows.
I can put that off to next week, next month, next year.
You're absolutely
And it's often the
right.
things we don't want to do, but we know we need to do.
Right.
That makes the biggest shifts in our business. And that momentum will carry you through. And that's why we decided to do it this time of year, because it is an odd time of year to do something like this. Usually people will launch this sort of thing in January.
At the start of the year, right?
Yeah, and everybody be like, yes, I'm on board. I'm actually going to do that, right?
All your resolutions and
But you set resolutions. Did you accomplish them? It's October.
Exactly.
Let's take a look. You know, let's maybe audit the business. Let's maybe take a little retrospective. You know, did you accomplish what you wanted to? Maybe there's something bigger that's inside you. You know it's there.
Right.
You just don't know how to let it go, how to unleash it.
That's interesting. So you mentioned that you're going to have small groups. So what is the ideal number that you're looking for?
Ideally, I think around 10 is our goal. I mean, that would be amazing. I think more than that, maybe we'll end up with 2 different separate groups.
Okay.
You know, we're also aware of time zones because, you know, maybe there's a Bermuda group and an Australian group. We'll see.
Right.
You know, we've just launched it. It's brand new. So you guys hear it here first. But it is coming up soon. It's coming up on October 24th. That's the first actual group coaching call. It's going to be on the 24th.
Okay.
So talk to us before that if you're interested. And like I said, no obligation.
So if people are interested, what is the process? What should they do?
Right. So there's a page on our website that you can go to. Hopefully you can link it in the show notes so people can access it. Go there, check it out. There's more information, more details, a little FAQ, so if you have more questions. And then the next step of the process is a Google form, really simple, but it's to start you thinking about, like, what do you want to get out of this? Is this for you? If you fill that out and you're like, yeah, this is for me, then you just book a call with Vicky, and it's just a 15, 20-minute call, nothing long, but just to get to know her.
Right.
She'll ask you some questions, see if it's a fit, and if you feel like, yeah, this is for me, then we'll just take the next step.
Okay.
And you go through.
So tell me the website address.
Yes. Now you got me. 2for1.bm, the numbers, all spelled out, will get you to our homepage, and you'll find it from there.
Okay, excellent. So if people are interested, go to the webpage first, find out the information, and then you do that sort of initial kind of questionnaire analysis to see if you're ready for it.
Yeah, there's a video there. I'll give you a little more information.
Okay. Great. Yeah. Now, I'm pleased to say, and thank you very much for this, that BEDC members do receive a discounted rate. So if there are BEDC members who are interested in signing up, please go ahead and do that. And why did you decide to do that? We're grateful, by the way.
Oh, well, of course. Well, we are grateful to be EDC, and you helped launch our business in a way that you didn't even realize that you helped. But you've also supported so many of the people that we've worked with. So many people we work with have come through your program. My son being one of them.
Nico.
Flowbynico.com. Check him out. Shout out there. But I see the work that you do for entrepreneurs, and I know how hard this journey is. And any way that we can help make it a little bit easier, we're all for.
Yeah.
So we want to give back, and we want to support the community, and we want to be part of it. It's so important to us. We're so passionate about it. We have so much more to give. There's more coming. This is only the beginning. 2025 is going to be big for us. We're launching the Resilient Entrepreneurs Academy.
Ooh.
Again, you're the first to know this.
That's
We don't even have that on our website yet.
Okay.
Sorry. We're very excited about that. But we want to create the resources for entrepreneurs. Right. So we have the learning inspiration in our podcast. We have the marketing support and all that as well, that we do. And we help entrepreneurs to launch businesses. That's a real core part of our business. But we recognize a lot of people need the DIY package.
Yeah.
Right? They need the information because they want to do it themselves, because when you're starting out, you're bootstrapping.
Right.
And I actually love entrepreneurs that bootstrap.
Yeah.
You learn so much more.
You do. You learn it quicker when you have to go through it, and even if you fail, that's a learning that you wouldn't be able to get otherwise, right?
Absolutely. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Failure is part of entrepreneurship. If you're scared of failure, I'm sorry to tell you.
It's not for you.
It might not be for you. But you might need a coach to help break you through why it's a failure. But no, failure is just part of it. And it's just lessons in learning. If you listen to our podcast, we almost always ask that question, like, what does failure mean to you? Because every successful entrepreneur has a failure story.
Yeah, they do.
Several. Some big ones, like losing everything and having to rebuild from scratch.
Yeah.
But you rebuild from learning.
Yeah.
And you rebuild faster, better. Maybe you have to completely pivot. Maybe a pandemic comes and changes the trajectory of everything in your life. Hey, this is it. But when you're an entrepreneur, you have full control over that.
Right.
And you know more than most people just by going through it and doing it, and making the mistakes.
That's right. That's right.
And it's an incredible space to be in, and it's the best journey you'll ever go on. You will learn so much about yourself. You'll learn strengths you never knew you had, like public speaking.
Yeah.
Never thought I wanted to do public speaking. Here I am.
Look at you, and you're good at it.
Oh, you're too good.
So let's talk about some of the other initiatives that you have that 241 is leading, webinars, things like that we can look forward to.
Oh, definitely. I mean, because we're launching the Academy next year, we're launching, as a big first part of it is going to be a launch course.
Okay.
So like I said, we help a lot of entrepreneurs with launching their business, because that involves a lot of marketing. That's your biggest marketing push you'll ever have in your business, but it's the best time to get the most amount of attention, but there's so many aspects to it to know. It's so much more than just sending a press release.
Right.
Or sometimes people just call the newspaper and be like, hey, want to do an interview with me? I've got a business.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that. But if you did that, plus social media, plus email marketing, plus, traditional marketing.
The impact will be, yes.
Right. You can take it from little baby steps to something really big. But there's things that need to be in place before you do that too. You got to make sure your website can handle that type of traffic. You got to make sure you're collecting those leads and building a funnel. There's so many elements to it that, we love helping people with that stage, because honestly, that's what lights Vicky and I up. We're in that early brainstorm stage. We love to audit the business. We love to see the gaps and what you're missing and make you think big and beyond, the borders. But we also recognize that that's unattainable and expensive for a lot of people.
Right.
That package, we have, it's it's $10,000. That's
Right.
a big package, and often that's hard, especially for somebody bootstrapping.
Yeah.
So they're looking at it oh, that's
what
great,
can I? Yeah.
but
Yeah.
how do I could figure this out myself? So we're like, well, maybe there's somewhere we can meet in the middle. Maybe there's a course that we can create that's now a digital course. So this is what I'm working on right now. It's in production.
Okay.
So excited. On launching your business. So it's going to take you step by step through, the 4 phases of launch, from the strategy point, because that's really important, to preparing all the bits you need to prepare and understanding how to deal with the press and how to, do all these pieces, then to launching what
Right.
you got to do on the day, the week, that time, because that can get really intense, and lots of tips and tricks there. And then what to do after.
Right.
Because, just launching something.
And then what? You're
then
like, now what I gotta do?
Crickets. Why is it crickets? No, there's so much more to come after. So
Right.
that's our 4-stage launch plan. So we're breaking that down into a digital course. It'll have a little coaching and consulting in there too. We're not just going to throw it at you and, hope
leave you and be like, figure it out. I figured it out. Now you got to figure it out.
Of course not. So that's just like one of many courses that we're going to be building. So we're going to be building that over the next, I don't even know, hopefully next 5 years.
Okay.
Because we want to break it down to small chunks that can really help people move, through what they need to know about business. And especially, we're going to start with a lot of the marketing pieces. At the end of the day, if you don't market your business, you don't have
Nobody
business.
knows,
Can't
right?
sell a secret.
Yeah.
It's my favorite line.
I love that.
Can't sell a secret. So you absolutely need to understand the marketing. It's such a key part. And it's the part I think most people feel like they don't know or don't want to do.
It's very true. We hear it all the time. A lot of entrepreneurs, they're good at what they do. And they're like, I just need somebody else to do the thing. But it's interesting because sometimes they feel like they're not in a position to pay for someone to do the thing. So if the thing doesn't get done, it's a secret, right? And nobody knows about it. And so you are in this vicious cycle of how do I make the money to be able to afford the marketing? And so, you know what I mean?
Oh,
So,
absolutely. I think a trap a lot of entrepreneurs fall into is they don't want it to be them.
Right.
They don't want to show themselves. They're nervous to talk on a camera. They don't want to do the videos. They don't even want to do the photos. They want to just, here's my product, here's my service, buy it.
right.
People don't buy from businesses. People buy from people.
It's so interesting that you say that. And I think with social media and with the way we, I guess, receive information, internalize information, it's a lot different now. You're absolutely right. Sometimes people make a decision on what they're purchasing based on who is selling them the product or service, and they want to see who is this person that is created this product or service, and they will make a decision based on that. So I think that's very true now.
And people want to know what mission you're on.
Yeah.
What's your mission?
Yeah.
What's your big vision? Like, why are you doing what you do?
Right.
Founders, if they can remember why they started their business and share that story, it's usually so impactful.
It is. And sometimes, like, I hear a story and I'm like, well, I wasn't even thinking about purchasing. But just because of that story, I want to support you because I believe in what it is that you're trying to do. Yeah. And I think a lot of people make decisions that way now.
Oh, absolutely. And especially young people.
Yeah.
Because they're so used to purchasing online and they're so used to purchasing on social media. They follow, like I watch my son, he's 16, and he follows brands, but he's following the people. He's interested in like who's selling the brand, building the brand, showing, unboxing the latest thing, wearing the latest thing. But it's the person that he's like, I want to be like this person. This person is cool. This person is trendy. Like, I like what he's wearing. I want to wear that too. And he'll want to buy the clothes because of that.
Right.
See, it's that people don't understand. If you just show me an outfit, okay,
maybe,
But if you show me the person, how they've styled it, and who they are, and what mission they're on, and maybe they're eco-conscious, or maybe they're supporting a cause or giving back, or these are the things that connect people to brands. And it's even if you look at the biggest brands in the world. And you look at, here's a good example. So if anybody wants to just check this out, go look at like Virgin brand, for example, and then go look at like Richard Branson. Go see who has more followers. Guarantee you he has more followers than his brand does.
Right.
That's the thing that you got to realize. We're interested in the person. So be the person. You got to be the person.
Yeah, I love that. See, that's why you and Vicky are the bosses. So let's take it back to Reset Sprint and tell me why an entrepreneur should sign up for this.
Well, I think, like you said earlier, entrepreneurship can be a very lonely road because not everybody in your circle is going to understand what you're doing. And entrepreneurship is a roller coaster. Sometimes you're up and sometimes you're down. And it's so normal part of the journey, that you don't realize it's a normal part of the journey when you're just in it.
Right.
Because you're just struggling through, trying to figure things out, doing all the things, wearing all the hats, cleaning up all the messes. And, it gets overwhelming. And when you get overwhelmed, you often just want to stop.
Yep.
Need a break. We've talked to experts on burnout. Like, that's a thing that really happens with entrepreneurs. We hit a wall. I hit a wall. I definitely was there once. So I know what that feels like. And it's scary because you're unable to break through by yourself. You need support. You need community. And the thing with coaching, I think that's so important. It's any successful athlete, right, has a coach.
Yeah.
They can be naturally gifted from birth, and most of them are, but they've always had a coach.
Right.
Why? Because the coach sees that thing you don't see in yourself.
Okay.
And it could just be breaking through that one limiting belief, that one thing you're telling yourself that isn't true, but you don't know it's not true because you've internalized
That's
it.
very true.
It's that person that can zoom out on your life and go, hang on.
Right.
I know that's not true because, and they can help you see through. And the coach just gives you that insight that you can't get when it's just you and yourself and your computer and doing the stuff that you need to do. You can't see it.
Yeah.
So I think a coach really helps you to just see it. So that's why coaching is so important. That's why you get the community aspect of the reset sprint. So you've got, people cheering you on and helping you through the tough stuff and, supporting each other. I mean, it's going to be intimate and it's going to be personal and it's going to be, private. So, you can be, it's not going to be recorded,
right.
That kind of thing. It's going to be and all online, right? So I should have said that too, online. So wherever you are in the world, you can just zoom in and get in. And you're going to have that. And then you're also going to have the other layer of the one-on-one.
Right.
So you can go that level deeper, and really break through.
And you did mention that it doesn't matter what industry you're in.
Not at all.
It just matters if you're ready.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
So, I mean, I think it's great. I'm so pleased that you and Vicki considered giving BDC members a discount because I think it's needed. You're, like you said, you're at the end of the year. Did you achieve those goals that you set for yourself in January, as we do? And if you didn't, why not? Let's talk about it. Maybe you need new goals, right?
Yeah, exactly. Maybe they were the wrong goals. Maybe they need to shift.
Yeah.
And, this is the time to invest in yourself. And I realized that in business, that if you don't invest back into yourself and into your business, the business tends to stagnate.
Yeah.
And the only way to take the big leaps forward is to somehow invest in yourself. So doing a training program, doing a course, getting a coach, these are all ways to invest in yourself to move your business forward faster.
Yeah.
And I think that's key. We can all struggle along, but we don't need to.
No, and you don't need to do it by yourself, right?
Yeah.
I think that for me, this presents an opportunity for those who say that it's lonely. You don't know what you need to do. I just went to a panel discussion hosted by the BTA yesterday, and just hearing some of the women's journeys. These are leaders, and they were just saying how they felt alone. So creating this opportunity, you guys have created an opportunity with the Reset Sprint to create that kind of group or that community, if you will, at least for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And who knows where we'll go afterwards, right?
We intend to do more. This is just the first of many. We may focus each differently. We'll judge how this one went. Of course, we'll do our, internal stuff to see, like, we want the same again, or do we want to maybe niche it into something more specific? Well, who knows? But we certainly know that coaching is a big part of what we do and what we're passionate about. And with Vicki becoming a certified coach, she's so excited, to support people in this way. And she's so good at it.
Yes. You're both great at what you do.
So we love it.
And you can tell. You know what I mean? I think it makes a difference when you are entrepreneurs and you're supporting other entrepreneurs because you've been there, done that. So you're speaking from a place of authenticity because you've been there, right? And you understand what it's like to hit the wall. And how do I pivot? Like you said, you started out this way, but now you're doing this whole different thing, and it still matters, right? It's still what people need.
Absolutely.
And I think that's the key. So find out what you need at this Reset Sprint.
Just come talk to us. Just come talk to us and see if it's for you.
Yes, I love that. Well, listen, I really appreciate, thank you, Laura, for coming on and spending a little time with us. We minded a little bit of business today. And I would just encourage people, if you are listening, especially if you are a BDC member, please go log on to the website 241. Is it .com?
.bm.
.bm and 241.bm and sign up. Find out more information. If you have questions, do the questionnaire. To see if you're ready. And please do take advantage of the discount that you're offering to BDC members. But thank you so much.
Thank you so much,
You're
Jamillah.
welcome.
This was amazing.
It was. And remember, if you don't mind your business, who will?
Exactly.
Thanks for tuning in to Mind Your Business with me, your host, Jamillah Lodge. Tune in next week, Thursday at 4 p.m. because if you don't mind your business, who will? Mind Your Business is brought to you by BEDC. Bermuda Business starts here.